The next step of the process is to compare our hardware with the recommendations. So we have this spreadsheet that you can download from the Canvas site. There should be a link there that will allow you to download this. And the first column we're going to be interested in is the one that's labeled G. And this is where we're going to fill in our own information. And as we fill it in, it's going to run a comparison check and give us some results, and then give us some recommendations based on how this all kind of tallied up. So over here we're talking about our processor, so this category is yes. And like I said, we obtained all of this information from the Bellark report, which is from the previous step. So here I have 8 cores. My speed is 2.4, and I do have the turbo feature. Now if you're not sure about some of this and the Bellark report doesn't really show you, remember that you can go out to Dell's website and you can click on the system configuration, so make sure you type in your service tag info so it's displaying the correct machine. Don't worry if the picture is not right. If the picture is not exactly the same, it's not a big deal. You just need to make sure the service tag is the same. And then you can scroll down this list and you can actually see what your computer came with at the time of your purchase. Of course, it's not going to show you any upgrades that you might have done to your computer. So I've done quite a bit of upgrades to my computer. But you know, it might give you some hints about some things that are already in here. So like processor, let's see if we can find that in here. There it is. So there's the processor. I did order mine with the turbo feature, but it doesn't really show it here. It might be something that you just have to simply memorize, or you can call support and they might be able to tell you, or contact support. Alright, so going back to our sheet here, so now we're going to go into system memory. So I have about 52 gigs of RAM. The speed, now the Bellark report didn't tell us the speed, and if you don't know what it is, you know, it's not really that big of a deal, because if you fail the test, the recommendation is to make sure that your memory is greater than it either is equal to 16 gigabytes or it's greater than 16 gigabytes. Speed doesn't really matter. It does matter if you're going out to buy a new computer. So if you're buying a new computer, you want to either meet or exceed this amount, otherwise you're getting something that's a little bit too slow. So what is my speed? Again, I'm going to have to go out to my sheet here and look for something that talks about memory. There's my memory, and it says 133. So that is likely, it's usually going to be 4 digits. So 1333, and you can see that's less than this, but the recommendation here says to not worry too much about speed if you're a returning student. If you are new, you do want to be concerned about that. The next one is the video card. So I do have an NVIDIA Quadro, and I do have 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's exactly that. So you can see it says pass, no recommendations given. Primary hard drive, I do have a 500 gigabyte hard drive, but it is a solid state drive. Now I don't have this size, I'm a little bit lesser than this size, but like I said, I showed you in the Bellark report, I'm not even using the full capacity. I have about 300 gigabytes free. So actually my C drive is 512 gigabytes if you want to be exact. My secondary drive, which was my E drive, is the same thing, and it too is a solid state drive. My integrated, I do have a network interface device. It doesn't need to be integrated, you just need to be able to plug an Ethernet cable into your computer and be able to get on the internet kind of thing. So I do have one of those. The speed needs to be 100 megabits per second or greater. Mine happens to be a gigabit card. Next one, Ethernet cable. Yeah, I definitely have that. And I happen to have a Cat5e cable plugged in. Next one, CD burners. I can burn a CD and I can burn DVDs. Backup drive. So my backup drive is 2 terabytes. And well, for this one I didn't get one, so I'm going to actually leave this blank. I didn't get a backup drive 1, but I did get a backup drive 2, which is 2 terabytes, and I did get a backup drive 3. Like I said, I consider my data more important than my operating system because I know I can get my operating system back in within a day and a half. So there's that. Thumb drive, definitely have a thumb drive. I actually bought several of these because I found this to be very useful. I have one for work, one for school, one for various, for various roles that I do here. The next one is academic years left. Well, I have about that many years left, possibly 5 at the rate that I'm going. Warranty, well, it turns out that I'm almost out of warranty, so this is something that I am going to definitely have to work on. The next one is audio device. So I do have an audio device, and it's the kind that I can plug into my audio port, so I don't use up all my USB ports. And I do have headsets, I just don't have them plugged in right now. So we can see that this is the results that I have here.